Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for the latest news and information from the city of Greensboro. In response to numerous inquiries concerning the policies of the Greensboro Police Department following the death of George Floyd, GPD leadership strives to ensure its policies and practices serve all residents and visitors equally and equitably. GPD is prepared to make continuous improvements and has incorporated several changes in response to community concerns. GPD modified its policy to specifically require anytime an officer witnesses an excessive use of force, they have a duty to intervene verbally and/or physically to interrupt the act, and the officer must notify their supervisor so the appropriate administrative and/or criminal investigation can begin. GPD modified its policy to strictly prohibit chokehold and stranglehold restraint methods. Furthermore, GPD does not teach or train its officers to use chokeholds or strangleholds. GPD also modified its policy to specifically state officers will use the minimal amount of force necessary to stop resistance and effect an arrest. GPD has always encouraged officers to use verbal conversation and other de-escalation techniques before resorting to force and to use the least amount of force required. In February of this year, GPD modified its policy to provide that officers will not fire any weapon from or at a moving vehicle. Greensboro police officers are currently trained to provide verbal warnings before using any force, to include deadly force whenever reasonably possible. Greensboro police officers are currently required to self-report any use of force, and each use of force is investigated administratively and, where necessary, by way of a criminal investigation. After being sworn in, Greensboro Police Chief Brian James modified GPD's mission statement to read, "Partnering to make Greensboro safe for all people." Each employee of the department remains committed to this statement. The Greensboro Department of Transportation staff, on behalf of the Greensboro Urban Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, has updated the Public Participation Plan. Residents have until Friday, July 24th to review and comment on the revised plan. The plan is available online and comments may be emailed to the MPO. The deadline to submit comments is also July 24th. The updated plan will be considered for adoption by the MPO's Technical Advisory Committee at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, August 19th. The meeting will be held online. For more information, please visit the MPO website. 3 city neighborhood parks in Greensboro will offer free grab-and-go lunches during the summer months. The parks include Hannaford, Maywood, and Woodmere. This program is open to students age 18 and younger and is available from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays from June 15th through July 30th. 2 meals will be provided on Thursdays. For other meal distribution locations throughout the summer across Guilford County, visit the Guilford County Schools website. Parks and Recreation meal location addresses are Hannaford Park, located at 1701 Hannaford Street, Maywood Park, located at 2009 Maywood Street, and Woodmere Park, located at 2100 Autumn Drive. This summer meals program is a partnership between the Guilford County School District, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the City of Greensboro. In an effort to help each of us improve our quality of life, the city has partnered with Cone Health for a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Let's check in with our friends at Cone Health for today's News for Your Health.
Hi, I'm Kate Clark. I'm a nurse practitioner at LeBauer Healthcare at Stony Creek, a member of Cone Health Medical Group. Whether you're having fun in the sun or playing hard in the yard, I have a few safety tips to keep you and your family safe this summer. Let's chat. When it comes to pool safety, there's a few tips I'd like to share with you and your family. Whether you're at the pool, lake, or beach, it's extremely important that you apply sunscreen. I recommend an SPF of 30 to 50. Once you apply, you'll need to apply it and keep it on your skin for at least 15 to 30 minutes prior to exposure to the water or the sun. Once you've applied, you need to ensure that you reapply every 2 hours. We lose a lot of the lotion through our sweat and through the pool when we're in the water. Also, did you know that when you're at the pool, lake, or beach, the light can reflect off the water and cause even more exposure to your skin? Other tips for pool safety. Please ensure that once you're at the pool and you're not in the water, to wear sunglasses for eye protection and also a hat to protect your ears, face, and let's be honest, it just helps you to read a little bit better. When it comes to pool safety, it's extremely important to remember a few tips. It's important to always walk around the pool area. You may not see it, but it could be slippery. Also, make sure that you're not diving into any areas that are not designated for diving. If a lifeguard is not present, please take precautions and ensure that there is a trained adult at the poolside to be available for any assistance that may be needed. Let's talk briefly about heat stroke and heat exhaustion. What is heat stroke? Basically, heat stroke is when your body gets to be too hot. When your body gets too hot, the organs in our bodies try to compensate by becoming faster. Signs and symptoms of heat stroke: fast heart rate, fast breathing, lots of sweating, sometimes confusion. Who's prone to heat stroke? Our elderly population is more prone to heat stroke, especially when working outdoors. People with chronic illnesses like heart disease or neuro diseases are more prone to heat exhaustion. But anybody can get heat exhaustion or heat stroke if you're outside for a prolonged amount of time without proper hydration. If you suspect that someone has heat exhaustion or heat stroke, it's important that you cool them down immediately. Bring them into the shade, spray their body down with water, and fan them. You'll need to take them to the local emergency department as soon as possible. Their body may require IV fluids and rehydration. Did you know that the average male requires about 3 liters of water a day? The average female requires about 2.2. This is before being outdoors or exercising. When you're outdoors for a prolonged amount of time or exercising, it's important that you drink at least about half to another full liter of water. Whether you're working in the garden or hard in the yard, there's a few tips that you should remember. The southeastern part of the United States is endemic for Rocky Mountain spotted fever and Lyme's disease. These are caused by ticks. If you notice a tick on your body, then it's important that you take note of it before you pull it off. If it's large, odds are it's been attached to your body for several hours. If it's small, then likely not. Do not feel like you need to bring the tick into the office. However, take good notes about it. When you want to remove the tick, it's important that you take tweezers and slowly pull from the head of the tick off away from your body. Take note of any signs and symptoms, which may be Lyme's disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Poison ivy and poison oak, 2 plants that can cause a lot of pain and discomfort that are around our area. Have you ever heard the term, leaves of 3 let 'em be? That's pretty good advice. These plants are green and they have 3 leaves per stem. If you come in contact with these plants, it's important that you wash your skin immediately, take off your clothes, and wash them as well. Now, if you develop a rash, which may likely happen, it's going to be uncomfortable. You'll have a lot of itching. It's very important that you do not scratch and that you apply moist, cold compresses to help prevent itching. You can also use calamine lotion, which can be purchased over the counter. If your rash does not clear up in the next couple of weeks after you notice it, please seek attention from a medical provider. The rash will only spread if you come in contact with the oils of the plant through either a pet or your clothes, which is why it's extremely important to wash your body and your clothes immediately. Thanks for joining me. I hope these tips have been helpful to keep you and your family safe this summer. For more information on summer safety or wellness topics, please visit conehealth.com/wellness. I'm Kate Clark. Thanks again.
Hundreds of residents have been on the receiving end of resources available to assist with helping them have access to essential services they may have lost due to COVID-19. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. In its latest round of funding, the Greensboro Virus Relief Task Force granted more than $14,000 to 2 local nonprofits providing services to residents impacted by the coronavirus. In total, the task force has granted more than $2.2 million to nearly 100 local nonprofits, directly helping thousands of individuals and families in Greensboro. The funds were allocated from the Greensboro Virus Relief Fund, established through a partnership between United Way of Greater Greensboro, the City of Greensboro, and the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro. The task force is co-chaired by representatives of the city and United Way, with other members representing the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro, Guilford County, Greensboro Chamber of Commerce, and leaders representing the 6 priority areas for funding. As part of North Carolina's phased reopening, Greensboro Public Library is offering curbside pickup for holds. Customers can place up to 10 items on hold, but there will be no entry to library buildings for pickup. Library fines have been waived for the period of March 12th through June 29th. On June 29th, a grab-and-go service will allow the public to enter the library, grab materials, check out, and exit. Seating areas, computer stations, in-house programs, and meeting rooms will be off limits during this period. The city's downtown parking decks have resumed regular operations. Hourly parkers will be charged the standard rates. The first hour is free, and then it's $1 per hour from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Parking is free from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. There's a $2 charge upon entry to park from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. The public is now allowed to enter City Hall from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visitors will notice enhanced safety measures in customer service areas such as plexiglass, physical distancing signage, and additional hand sanitizing stations. Concern for the community and employees is the city's top priority. The city will monitor and make changes to the reopening schedule if needed based on local, state, and national trends or additional orders from the governor. Residents are encouraged to continue using remote methods of handling city business, such as by phone, email, and postal mail. You can visit the city's COVID-19 webpage for the latest news, cancellations, and service changes. In other phased reopenings, the Greensboro Parks and Recreation Facility hours have changed. Operating hours for regional parks such as Barber, Country, Hester, and Keeley, as well as the Gardens, have resumed regular seasonal hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. City Lakes have resumed regular operations of 6 days per week. Regular seasonal hours are from 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Monday through Saturday and 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Sundays. Please note Lake Higgins is closed on Mondays, Lake Brant is closed on Tuesdays, and Lake Townsend is closed on Wednesdays. Skate parks are open and city cemeteries have resumed regular hours of operation from 8 a.m. to sunset. For more information about parks facility and program changes related to COVID-19, refer to the Parks and Recreation Phase 2 reopening plan available on the city's website. The phased reopening of North Carolina limits the number of people who can gather for events. This will change the way neighborhoods recognize National Night Out this year. Coming up after the break, we'll talk to the event coordinator from GPD and offer tips on how to safely support this annual tradition. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The warm weather has people wanting to get outside, but COVID-19 makes it risky for too many people to gather for events. This will definitely change the way neighborhoods recognize National Night Out this year. Joining me now to share tips on how to safely host this event is Jenny Cavanis. She is the Community Engagement Director for the Greensboro Police Department. Hello, Jenny. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining me. With COVID-19 still hovering in the air, we probably will have some form of COVID still to deal with in August. How do you see organizers making differences in how they can have a safe National Night Out event?
Well, we've gotten a lot of questions from the community on this too, so I appreciate the opportunity to speak on it. we are really encouraging larger sites to kind of break apart and have multiple small sites. And then again, with food distribution, maybe don't do covered dish, everybody bring your own food, prepackaged foods, those kinds of things, masks, hand sanitizer. So it'll just be a little bit of a change this year.
Yes, and food is such a big component. I'm glad you mentioned that. It is usually a spread, and people kind of contribute from whatever it is that their specialty is. So you're saying bring your own self-contained food.
Yes, even though we all enjoy eating the delicious things that our neighbors make, it
Yes.
is definitely maybe a year to look at just bringing your own and engaging in a different way.
Okay, that sounds easy enough. Now, National Night Out has been going on for more than 36 years now. Can you tell me what makes this event so successful, and when will we celebrate this year in 2020?
So this year's event is August 4th, and I think the reason this is so successful, it's just great building year after year on relationships that all public safety is building in its community, and especially this year we're really hoping to see some great relationship building.
Okay, yes, and absolutely, this is a more sensitive year, and I think it's nice that people are so excited and still wanting to get out and interact with their officers. What do you hear from the neighborhoods who coordinate these National Night Out events each year once they've been able to successfully close the book on yet another National Night Out?
Well, we get lots of exciting pictures and photos and stories about, officer engagement and firefighters coming by and Guilford Metro 911 stopping in. It's always a really great feeling. There's always lots of social media from individual neighborhood groups, and the pictures are just so fun watching officers engage with children and adults and our senior residents. It's just a lot of great feedback.
Nice, nice. And I've enjoyed each time I've had the opportunity to go out, and I get a police escort, which is always fun. Sometimes even the chief takes me out. So it's nice to see all the different people and how they choose to celebrate, and some of them go really big.
They do.
Now, aside from the relationship building, obviously National Night Out has the safety component. We want our neighbors to feel safe within their neighborhoods, so this is a good time to establish Neighborhood Watch. How do folks go about doing that?
Well, it's a great thing to start with either the Office of Community Engagement, or you can really look at your community resource officer. These resources can be found on our website, but sometimes just starting with the Office of Community Engagement, we can help get you there a little bit more quickly.
Okay.
Yes, it makes it a little bit easier.
Excellent. And last but not least, anyone who might be new to the community or not really know how we do National Night Out in Greensboro, how can they get more information, and especially if they want to host?
Well, if they want to host, again, I would go ahead and contact the Office of Community Engagement within the police department, because we can let you know if you've got a site in your neighborhood already, who your neighborhood leader is, and if not, we'll help you set that up. And you made a great point. This is a great opportunity for neighbors to get to know neighbors and really build that sense of community and that sense of safety that people can really provide just knowing who lives next door.
Wonderful. Well, like I said, I enjoy National Night Out. Thank you for stopping by to tell us how we can do this safely under COVID-19. And we appreciate all you do and your office does to make sure that we have positive interactions between our residents and our police officers. So do come back and tell us about all the other great things you have going on through community engagement.
I will. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. Due to COVID-19, the City Council is meeting virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. City Council meetings usually take place on level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The City of Greensboro is accepting applications for City Academy now through July 15th. This free civic education program is celebrating its 17th year. It's designed to develop civic leadership and build a stronger city through well-informed and engaged residents. City Academy participants get a behind-the-scenes view into city government through hands-on activities as they visit various city locations. Classes are held weekly from 5:45 p.m. to 9 p.m. from September through November. A graduation ceremony is scheduled for December 1st during the City Council meeting. The program also offers 2 optional elective sessions with the Greensboro Police, providing hands-on instruction with firearms training, crime scene investigations, K-9 unit, and much more. City Academy is open to anyone who lives within the corporate limits of the City of Greensboro. 30 residents representing all 5 City Council districts and various backgrounds will be selected. The City of Greensboro is committed to diversity and inclusion, and City Academy strives to create an environment reflective of the diversity within the community. To apply for the Fall 2020 class, call the Community Relations Office at 336-373-2723. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first we have a special message regarding the coronavirus.
While we as a community continue to fight COVID-19, we wanted to take a few minutes to let you know what Guilford County EMS is not able to do during this time. First, we're unable to test you for COVID-19, so if you call us to your home, we're unable to diagnose you with the virus. Second, we're unable to hand out any of our PPE, our personal protective equipment. Those are items such as our gloves and masks. However, if you are a patient, we may ask you to wear a mask on the way to the hospital. And finally, if you are transported as a patient to the hospital, we're unable to allow anyone to ride along with you inside the ambulance.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The City of Greensboro has resumed regular residential yard waste collection. Yard waste should be limited to a total of 10 bags, bundles, or cans. Residents are reminded to keep bundles and limbs to 5 feet or less, and cans and bags should weigh less than 50 pounds. Yard waste fees have been reinstated at the White Street landfill. Cars are charged $10 per trip, while vans, passenger vans, pickup trucks, and non-dumping trailers are charged $12 per trip. The landfill has resumed regular operating hours of Monday to Friday from 7:50 a.m. to 4:50 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Residents should continue to make an appointment to collect appliances and electronic items. To schedule an appointment, call the contact center at 336-373-2489. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO Shout Out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO Shout Out. This week's shout out goes to City of Greensboro employees. More than 300 employees joined City Manager David Parrish on a unity walk downtown, followed by an 8-minute and 46-second moment of silence to honor the life of George Floyd. The walk was spurred by a citywide staff Zoom meeting where employees candidly discussed racial inequities. The walk and moment of silence evolved from that Zoom session as employees wanted to celebrate the diversity of the organization and support racial justice. The city's Human Relations Department, Office of Equity Inclusion, and Community Relations, the divisions responsible for handling concerns residents raise about disparate treatment based on race, issued a joint statement of solidarity. As more places continue to open, please remember to wear your face covering, wash your hands often, and wait 6 feet apart. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro, and now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.